with visual effects, what type of effect? Be sure that they see my room, but at the same time, bon, apply visual effects, and we see. So what could we have something fun? So let's put that.
So you're in Bangalore right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
We
I
do not
tried a
take,
lot for the seminar in a college, but it didn't work out.
yeah, it would be next week. By the way, we have to organize it.
Yeah, and that would be tough for you. So they are ready for a webinar anytime you want, but a
Yeah,
seminar
by the
at
way, yeah.
time.
By the way, the seminar we could have it. Uh, uh, basically, uh, basically, what we could have. Sorry, we could have something. Huh?
Yeah,
We have to set. We could have something. By the way, we could Calcutta before going maybe
yeah,
to Pune. Huh? Okay.
yeah,
Let me see. Uh, Alors, basically, Yash, first of all, congratulations. I don't know if you remember, but when we first met like 2 years ago, and you were a
yeah,
fresher at that time
yeah.
because
I had
you
no clue
were,
about anything.
yeah. So basically, you were a fresher and you were a first-year student at San Xavier. Okay. And what I
Yeah,
wanted to explain, and we'll talk about it together.
yeah, sure.
What we want to explain, the idea of today's seminar is to explain two things. First, if you want to top MBA, it's better to go through a master's first. Okay.
Yeah,
And second of all, you have to start to practice at a young age. Okay. Bon.
okay.
Now, tell me, Yash, because we've been through a long way together, we've known each other now for 2 years. Huh?
Yeah.
Tell me, so why do you, before you introduce yourself, but you introduce yourself after that, do you really believe that a master is something that you prepare in 3 months? Or is it a long process? And if it's a long process, why is it a long process? And how taking time and improving your profile
So you're talking
is
about the
key to
preparation
success.
for the application, right?
The whole thing, the 2 years that we have done together. Huh?
Okay, so I would not say that the procedure is very long. It depends on how fast you get acquainted with it. So it's a series of steps that you follow, starting with getting to know about the colleges and then starting to work on your profile and your GMAT. So
Yeah.
the most important thing would be to work on your GMAT so that it overshadows anything that is not pro for your CV. So working on your GMAT, you can get a score like 700 and 720, and then you can, like for me, for example, I had a lower GPA than almost most of the students, so I had to overcome it with international exposure and the GMAT and with letter of recommendations.
Yes.
So
So
uh,
basically, what you agree and the work that we have done together, anyway, your
yeah,
profile is very good, and
yeah.
you'll be a San
So
Xavier
after
graduate.
joining,
You have
after getting in touch with you, I got to know about the plethora of opportunities that and that is available for Indian students outside. So that would be masters in management in Europe and the MBA programs in US. And
yeah,
you made me believe that you guys made me believe that this is achievable for me. This is something achievable. My dear friend Aryan just joined, and he was the
yeah.
one who took my hand in hand and then led me to this path.
Okay,
So
exactly. Now,
yeah.
the first thing that I want to explain, and that's what we did with Ariane,
Hello,
is
Aryan.
that we take our student at a young age, okay? And same thing now happens when we were with Symbiosis, where we had in class first-year students. So we prefer to say that we prefer to have students who are young, okay,
Yeah,
and who are first-year students. So that way we have like 2 years probably to
yeah,
improve their profile, work on the application and the GMAT. So basically, ideally, that's what we have done with you. we take a student, okay, with a first year student. We prepare his application for summer camps, okay. Voilà, so it's the basic. So we say year one, get good grades. We prepare the application for summer camp, and then the student has some vacations. Can also complete, why not, an internship abroad, and then you have some 1 year to work on your TOEFL, your GMAT, and your application. Okay.
Yeah.
And the student by then gets on year two you work on this. At the beginning of the third year, you send your application and you get an answer before Christmas. In general, it did not happen to you like this because you lost some time. So basically, that's the optimal preparation for master in management. Okay, and that's
Yeah.
why we wish the quality of the profile. It means that during this time you can improve your profile with leadership activities, international exposure, and you tell us what we have done, especially the one at IE, versus application where the application is not good enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, what have you done during the first year and also part of the second year to improve the profile? What have you done?
Yeah, so during the first year, I was in contact with you, Hitika, and Aryan, and all of you guys. You helped me look out for opportunities where I can improve my CV. So Aryan helped me with to get some internships and guided me where should I get internships and what field, and the how would that align with my goals and aspirations. Whereas Hitika helped me find courses online that would help me build my profile, and so that was the first step for me. And after that was the international exposure part where I applied for the summer school at IE and did it. So that was an amazing experience, and I think that also really helped my profile. Getting an international exposure gave me an edge over other students, and that too in a college like IE, which is which is one of the best in Europe for
Yeah,
masters.
we'll come to that. Basically, it's true. So that's something that students ignore a bit. Okay, is
Yeah.
that when you get selected for a master, and Ariane will share with us all that, because that's something we do a lot when we have seminars, is that school will consider, of course, your GMAT, your TOEFL, your grades, and your application overall, so your essays and your essay, your CV, and the letters of reference. But in reality, they consider much more than that. Okay? So Ariane, thank you, Ariane, for being with us. You're the other mentor. So tell us, Ariane,
Yeah.
what do business school consider in reality? Is the GMAT the ultimate thing? Sometimes Ariane, he says 20%. I don't know where he found that. Maybe that's maybe 30%. We don't really know, but he has set up a number. So this number is particularly good
Yeah, I
because
mean, come on,
Ariane is an
Hubert.
expert, but it is not a big, it's not everything for sure. Okay, correct.
Let's consider it to be 25% then,
Okay,
because
let's
I say
consider
20.
anyway. Nobody knows what it is in
We take the
okay.
average. We take the average. Let's say 25%. So, guys, when
Yeah.
it comes to the GMAT, a lot of us have this preconceived notion that you can get into a business school only if you have a 750 plus. In this call, there are two people who have got into London Business School and ESSEC Business School with a GMAT score, which were GMAT score lower than 700. Also, I mean, I have my
And
friend Surya.
did you see that
Yeah,
today? Sorry
Surya
to
is here
interrupt
with us,
you.
I think.
I have my friend.
Yeah.
I'm very proud today because all of us are going to our dream colleges.
And
Be it
all of
so.
us will be celebrating it tonight.
That is okay. That is okay. That is okay. But what I'm trying to say is, because I believe there are a lot of GMAT test takers, prospective GMAT test takers here. I mean, if you get a 700 above, it is fine. If you do not get a 700 above, it is still fine. Just try to get a score, above 660, because that is what the absolute best schools look for. But
Did you see? Did you see
yeah,
my? Sorry, Ariane, to interrupt you,
yeah,
but did you see my post of today on INSEAD? We had 7 students
yeah. So,
accepted, so from Europe,
so
they were from Europe, and not a single one reached even the GMAT average at INSEAD. We were some people it went from 600 to 690. And with 600 was the famous Ludovico Belanti, but of course, it was compensated by other things. No? Okay, so that's why when Ariane said it is 25%, now of course it will depend also a lot on the nationality. Okay, I would say that you agree that when you have, of course, 200 application of Indians, maybe you're not going to read them as closely as you expect, and you go a bit fast. And that's why the GMAT you consider. Keep going, Ariane.
Right. So another very important, yeah. I mean, I said it is 25%, and the factor that makes it or breaks it for you probably is your essays and written components of your application, like your mini essays and also your LORs. Because when it comes to business school, here in India, they just look at your grades and they decide whether you're good enough or not. But when it comes to some of the best business schools abroad, they do a holistic review of your application, and that is why the written components of your application becomes, of importance, right? Because if you look at the GMAT average in Africa, the GMAT average is around 580 to 600. But if you look at India, the GMAT average is around 680. And but they have to take students from both these different continents, and that is the reason why the GMAT is only a single component of the application, and your admission your admissibility doesn't solely depend on the GMAT or the GRE. That's why they do a holistic review of your application, and every single component is taken into account. How they get to know you is via your essays and your LORs. And on top of that, it's of great advantage if you, let's say, have international exposure, if you have done multiple internships, if you have done good courses. So basically a very well-rounded profile with a decent enough doable GPA. If you guys are planning for UK, let me tell you, the top colleges in the UK, be it Imperial, LBS, LSE, they are very particular about GPA. They
Yeah.
want a minimum GPA of 8. But this is not a prerequisite when it comes to schools in Europe, right? So different countries have different prerequisites, and but all these countries and all these top business schools have one thing in common, and that is they look for a very well-rounded profile. So profile development and internationalization of yourself as an individual is of utmost importance here.
Exactly. So basically, I would say that everything needs to be good, but at the same time, schools are looking for a well-balanced profile. Okay, they don't want a nerd. They don't want a guy who's just an entrepreneur, who just achieve things. They want a good mix. Huh? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, even through the one-on-one meetings that I had through MBA Center, Vibhor Dubey from ESSEC and all the other representatives from the AdCom community of different colleges, they all said to me that there is not a single factor on which your admissibility depends. It is your overall profile. If you have less international exposure, it doesn't mean that you are not qualified for the degree. You need an overall good profile in order to get in.
yes, you agree. So that means that you need to have something balanced. Of course,
Yeah,
I will say that you will also depend a lot on the nationality. Yeah? Of course,
yeah,
so when you come uh, from a, from India, the game is slightly different. In fact, they will insist a lot with Indians, which usually Indians have good scores, etc. They will insist a lot on their leadership, their team
yeah,
skills, and their international exposure. Okay, so basically the game is slightly twisted. Okay, so we say that if you're European or if you're American, basically you know that European business schools have very, very few Americans. According to me, if you apply as an American, it must be very easy. Okay,
yeah,
because they have a different approach. Okay, but of course, for instance, as an Indian, you have to have everything has to be very good, plus leadership skills, plus team skills, plus international exposure. Okay, so that's the thing that you have to improve in your profile. So it's very, very important. Okay, to
yeah,
work on your profile before you apply. Okay, that's why if you're an Indian and you apply at the last minute, okay, you're not going to optimize the process. Now, of course, we have Indians who have applied in the last minute. They still got masters at Imperial, at LSC, at ASMT, at ESCP. It's not bad, but it's not optimal. Okay. You will agree. Soria is with us as well.
yeah.
Soria, John.
Yeah, I'm here.
Soria, you okay? How
Yeah.
are you, Soya? How
Yeah,
is you?
I'm doing
So you're
better
happy
now.
to be with friends. So it's so of course I will have to make a picture, Ariane, since you're in Mexico, make a picture of the street, Can I rely on you, Ariane?
We'll get
Make a picture.
all of us will get a
Yeah,
picture
we'll,
tonight.
No, but
yeah,
all
we'll
of
send
three.
you the
I want a
picture
picture of all of three. If you have another
Yeah.
one from Jamshedpur, by the
Mandeep
way,
sir will also be here tonight, so we'll get a picture of
Yeah.
the four of us.
okay,
So Yash
because
is
Mandeep is
hosting a party for us tonight.
Not a party, but kind of a dinner, a get together for all of
okay.
my friends who have helped me.
So
Yeah,
there will be and there will be others, I imagine, from
yeah.
you know,
There are students. They are my friends from Kolkata. They're in the other room right now. They're listening. They have joined the
Okay.
meeting right now.
Okay. Now, basically, there are, by the way, people who came to listen. So for this first part, so you have to understand it's important. So there's Aditya Shadwa. So Aditya, can you introduce yourself and tell us the question that you have, Aditya? Hello? Aditya?
Hi, hello.
Yeah.
I'm also a student from MBA Center itself. I just came to here. I,
Hi, Aditya.
So
Hi.
you're going to apply
I,
to which school, Aditya? Aditya?
so I'm applying to London Business School, LSE, ESSEC, Imperial, IE, and
Okay.
ESCP.
Okay.
And what has been the outcome so far? What is your GMAT score, Aditya?
My GMAT score is 670. We
Yes.
had I had met you in Mumbai
Yeah,
when
yeah,
you had come.
Mumbai, I
we
remember.
met in
But,
Bombay. We
but
met in
what
Bombay.
what is going on now? Have you received the first result, Aditya, or not?
No. I have applied in round 3 for everything. So
Okay.
the applications are in process. Everything is almost finalized. I just have to fill in the answers for the applications and submit it.
Okay.
Okay.
So basically, don't wait too long. It's a good thing that we work together and that you're doing your best, but don't wait too long. Okay. By
Yes,
the way,
I have to
Ariane,
contact you regarding the interview of INSEAD, the pre-recorded interview.
instead you have the Kiratan. But did you see we had very good results? And we had people accepted with 600. So for Indians, by the way, we never had any Indians applying to INSEAD. So we'll see. And because Ariane will tell you that the job statistics are not very good for Indians. That's why few Indians apply to INSEAD. Alors, basically, Ariane, and you can tell us because now you had the ESSEC cohorts. What have you noticed? What can you advise in terms of round for Indians? What do you advise them?
In terms of what? Can you come again?
Of interview rounds, of rounds. Sorry, of rounds. So is it a
Sorry.
plus? Is it a minus?
I can't
what should be done?
can't really comprehend. I cannot really comprehend what you just said.
So what is the impact of applying early or late?
Yeah,
What is the impact?
Absolutely. So for Indians, I mean, I think cutoff should be round. But if for any reason, like if let's say your GRE or GMAT score got delayed, or your applications is sucking up a lot of time, you can obviously apply in the from round 3 onwards as well. But it is preferred that you apply by round 2, because by round 2 almost 40% of the seats get sucked up. So like I'll tell you about myself. I got into I just joined the ESSEC Masters in Finance WhatsApp group yesterday. I can see that they've already recruited 40 people, in 2 intakes, the Masters in Finance. I'm talking about the Masters in Finance cohort. But if I talk about the MIM cohort, I'm there on that group as well. I saw that they have recruited close to 115 people already.
And many of them are Indians.
A lot of them are Indians. So there is this is an indication that they are welcoming Indians, but every coin has 2 sides. If we have pros, we also have cons. It could also mean that they are done taking Indians. Because in the first 3 rounds, if we look at the MIM statistics, there are close to 72 Indians.
Yeah.
I was going through the list yesterday.
60 to 70 Indians easily.
Yeah.
There is
easy.
a student from my college only. I didn't know about her, but there is.
No, now I seriously feel like switching courses and going from Masters in Finance to Masters in Management. I won't do that, but I do not have any Indian mate in the MPhil cohort.
Yeah.
There is no Indian in that cohort.
Okay. So basically, what I want to say is that, and we have the example with with Ariane. So me, I know the numbers, but I don't want to give you the numbers. But Ariane can tell you, because we were in New Delhi last week, and when he met ESSEC,
Yeah.
but he already saw that there were many. He took the pictures, there were 25. And so if you say each round they take 25 plus, it was only Delhi, the woman is going to go to Kolkata, Bangalore, and
Mumbai.
Mumbai. We say probably it's a bit less than that, but it would be probably 50-60. Round one, 50-60 for the MIM, round two, 50-60. So you say at the end, there are not many left. So basically, yes, it means that they difficult to pass. Okay. And you have to see the point that you have, it's always the same thing. Europeans apply late. So we, for instance, at the MBA Center Paris, most of the people applying, they arrive now, they apply in March, April, May. Okay. But of course, because they don't have visa issues, whatever, okay, and they take many. Okay, the school still take many nationals. They take 50%, 60% of the French. But you being Indian with the competition, you have to apply for sure. Okay, plus there are other things to take into consideration: the visa, financing. So don't apply too late. Already, someone who is getting accepted in March, it's already quite late. If you consider that you have to find a place, that you have financing, it's a long process. You agree? You understand? So yes. So don't apply too late. Okay. Tell me, Ayushman Kar. Okay. You have question to ask us, Ayushman?
Hubert, Ayushman is also an existing MBA Center student.
Yeah, but let's ask him. What do you think, Ayushman?
Hello, sir. Good evening. I would say that right now.
Yeah,
What is your
good
profile,
evening.
Ayushman? Because I don't remember you well. What is your profile?
So can you come back again?
So what is your profile? What is your GMAT, etc.?
So right now I will be giving my GMAT on this April, in mid-April. So right now I'm just practicing for my GMAT exam.
Okay. And so don't forget that that's another thing that we have developed a lot at MBA Center. If the GMAT doesn't work well, they are ways around. You agree?
Yeah.
Now, Ariane, can you explain what we do when it doesn't work well? Tell everything. Everybody who is here, if you don't have good GMAT, it's not dead. Okay, we have a lot of options. So what are the options for master applicants in Europe only? In Europe only.
Right. So when it comes to Europe, and I mean, this is something that Indians don't really know about. Maybe because it is lack of information or lack of intent to get the right information, I would say. So when it comes to these, these highly coveted European business schools, if we go through the QS rankings, I mean the top 10 QS rankings, there are about 3-4 schools that offer in-house tests, and in-house tests, consists of GMAT 550, 560 level questions, not more than that. So if I have to take an example, I'll cite the example of ESCP Business School. I could have spoken about IE Madrid as well, but I prefer talking about schools that are job centric and that will give you the desired ROI. So yeah, ESCP is a great school, and they have let's say you're not comfortable with the GMAT or the GRE, there is an alternative which is known as the SHL test. SHL test. Honestly, even without preparing, you guys can just go for it. Just watch a couple of videos, and you'll end up clearing the test. And clearing the SHL test means getting a place at ESCP Business School, which is one of the best in the world today. Like let's say we can also talk about this school called ESMT Berlin. Right, a lot of people know about it. A lot of people might not know about it. So for those who do not know about the school, so ESMT Berlin was formed in culmination of 25 corporate heavyweights, which includes the likes of McKinsey, Bain, BCG, Accenture Strategy, and there is Puma, there is BMW. Basically, if you get into ESMT, getting a job is guaranteed, because as Indians, our concern is getting a job abroad. Getting the desired ROI is our main concern, right? So if you go to ESMT, you're bound to get a job. A. B, the program accepts GMAT, and let's say for some reason you're not able to score decently on the GMAT or the GRE, there is an alternative called the BAT. That's their admission test, which again consists of 600 level GMAT questions. Not difficult at all. Talking about other schools, we do have IE Madrid, which has an in-house test called the IE GAT, and similarly, Izarde has their own admissions test. There is a very good school in Germany called Frankfurt School of Finance and Management. They have their own test. If somebody is a finance enthusiast like me, it is an ideal place for them to go. If you do not have, if you Aditya, I'll come back to you. If you do not have a satisfactory GMAT score, so these are some of the schools that offer. These are some of the schools that offer, GMAT waivers, and instead of GMAT GRE, they allow you to apply with their in-house tests, which are very, very, very easy.
Okay, so and waiver. So basically, there are three solutions: GMAT, in-house test, and many schools have in-house tests, many, and good ones is that they,
Yeah.
okay.
Hubert, I'm barging and I'm so sorry, but yeah, recently we got a student accepted at NUS, National University of Singapore. I mean, we've been talking about.
It's a very good school. It's the best business school in Asia, as you know.
It's
probably.
the best business school in Asia. The student is from St. Xavier's, Calcutta as well. I don't think she's joined the seminar, but yeah, she got into National University of Singapore with a GMAT waiver. So GMAT waiver is always an option for you all. It's just that you need to write a very, very good waiver essay, and you have to state your reasons. The reasons that you're stating have to make a lot of sense in order to get a GMAT waiver. So yeah, I mean, people are getting schools of the caliber of NUS also, NUS as well, without the GMAT. So I think it's pretty clear which way the wind is blowing, and slowly, I think the GMAT will just be another aptitude test, and they won't. It won't be a required prerequisite to sort of get into the best business schools.
Still for some of them,
Yeah.
but and also you see that of course the COVID-19 has played a role into that, because schools have decided to give waivers, and now post COVID-19 they still give waivers without giving clear solution, except that probably I was working with Prashant yesterday. He told me that it's a way for them to get more students. And the more students you have, the more applicants, the better. For instance, a school like Sciences Po, that is an excellent school, doesn't have for any GMAT, and they receive many more applications than HEC or ESSEC, because they don't ask for the GMAT, and thus have more choice. Okay. That's the thing to say. By the way, the fact that we have 7 admitted students today at the EFISA, INSEAD, and not a single one reach the average score shows that even within the GMAT supporters, it's not that clear cut, because it should not be. Okay. So that's the first part for the profile and the application. There is something else that we want to say, and I will ask you, by the way, Yash, I would like to ask you the questions. Is that we have noticed also that it's probably better to go for a master's if you then want to go for a top MBA in the US. And I'm sure that you, Yash, probably go also for a top MBA in the US. Okay. Is it your plan, by the way, Yash, to go for a top MBA in the US? Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't hear you. Can you come again?
Yeah. Yeah, I can hear you, Yash. I can hear you.
Yes. Can you come again? I couldn't hear you.
Basically, is your plan to study in America, to do an MBA in 5, 6, let's say 7?
It was my plan, but let's see. I would never give up on an opportunity of studying in America, but only if I get into a good school, like if it's worth it only.
Yeah. But basically, you have to see that I made the research. I made the research with HEC. It was like 15 years ago, because they gave me the results. Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, HEC, ESSEC would be the same.
ESSEC, they have a lot of double degree, dual degrees, and exchange programs. So I'm hoping to do one, but I don't think they have it in America. It's mostly in Australia, and India.
His question. I think he didn't get your question. His question was whether you would want to, after completing ESSEC and working 2-3 years in the corporate sector, would you want to get a top MBA?
Most
a top
likely,
M7 MBA.
most likely, yes. Most likely, no.
Yeah, most likely, yes.
And what is interesting, I did the research with ESSEC, but the same thing would apply to HEC. And I was surprised to see that it was for HEC, they get Harvard, Wharton, Stanford. I think it was Harvard, Stanford, Wharton, MIT, Columbia. That's it. Okay, so you mean that when you graduate from ESSEC and you have worked abroad, you will target not even an M7, a top 5, not even a top 10, not even an M7, a top 5. So people will not even apply to Chicago Kellogg, okay, which is impressive. Huh? Okay, not even Chicago Kellogg.
Yeah.
Basically, that's what I've noticed, and of course, it makes a lot of sense because as an Indian, if you graduate from San Xavier and if you apply with a 750 as an Indian to these schools, it's very likely that you get none of the top 7 of the M7,
Yeah.
not even a top 10. Probably not even a top 10. And if you're a man, maybe a top 15, and if you're lucky that day. So basically, we come to that. So basically, when you have decided to go for ESSEC, it's not that you don't want to do an MBA, it's because
Yeah.
you have the best possible job and
It's the first step.
what is the reason? What is the reason? You want to be abroad and to have the best possible job and to give to
Yeah.
yourself the best opportunities. You agree? Optimal opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it your case as well, Surya? Because you already work in Delhi for KPMG.
Sorry, can you come again?
Is it your case as well that you go to study abroad? So in case it will be LBS to fast track your career as soon as possible and to give
Yeah.
yourself the best
Yeah,
chance
that's
when you're
that's
28,
that's the
29. Is it your
plan.
chance? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the plan
idea.
because the entire reason to pursue an early career master's is to escalate your corporate career, maybe give it a push of 2 to 3 years over my counterparts. And
Yeah.
since you mentioned about the MBA thing as well, even I would like to pursue. I mean, I'm definitely sure I'll pursue an MBA from America in the near future.
Okay. You agree? So basically, it's something very important that you have to take into consideration.
Yeah.
That the salaries in Europe and US are higher than in India, and probably your career will be fast track. Do you agree, Ariane, with what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Makes a lot of sense.
And can you explain why, according to you, why so? Because it's factually true, but why so?
I mean, ROI is something that should definitely be taken into account, because if you look at even if you look at the salary stats of the most premier business school of India, IIM Ahmedabad, it is nothing in comparison to what a 22-year-old graduating from ESSEC or ESCP or London Business School or INSEAD can make.
Yeah. I think
So-
ESSEC is ranked 1 for return on investment on a
I mean,
master's.
I love statistics, but it's not like I breathe statistics. So I'm not really sure about this stat in particular. But as a general stat, I know that ROI is definitely higher. And let's say you compare Indian School of Business with some of these business schools, because given that they have a PGP program for early career professionals.
Yeah.
All of us know the PGP, post PGP stats, and all of us know the post MIM stats from premier business schools, right?
Yeah.
So ROI is one thing that I definitely take into account, and secondly, quality of education, quality of training, and exposure is something that I would definitely like to highlight here, because when I got a glimpse of it when I was attending the HEC Paris summer school. Here in India, I went to St. Xavier's, Mumbai, and we never had any corporate interaction apart from placements. We never used to have any kind of industry visit, nothing of that sort. But here, during my stint at HEC, I met CEOs and CFOs of companies. I met managing directors of Societe Generale, personal banking, because they were our lecturers. And another reason why I find studying abroad or studying at premier business schools intriguing and motivational, because because they use real life examples to teach you. Like I went to HEC with zero exposure and zero practical exposure of investment banking, but they made me fall in love with the subject. They made, I mean, and instantly I decided that this is the career path that I want to pursue. They were using Apple's financials. Any person on this planet would, get intrigued to sort of follow what the professor was teaching there. And my final project, if I talk about my final project, I was asked to prepare a report on the merger of Disney and Hotstar with the real financials of the company.
Okay.
So
Do you
the
agree?
practical, it is practical. You get in touch with industry leaders, and that is what motivates you to sort of do your best.
Yeah, you agree? So basically, that's the thing to consider. So basically, yes, salary in Europe are higher, and probably can be explained by the economy. First of all, India is a growing economy, but it's still an emerging market. And second of all, the competition of India today, it's to offer an affordable workforce of intelligent people, well-trained people who speak English and who are affordable. Okay, if tomorrow India were to change this approach, India would suddenly lose a lot of jobs. Okay, so basically salaries will remain higher because there is a political and economic pressure, so that will remain low, so that they remain low. Okay, that's why if you want to make more money, then go to countries where we have less pressure. So go to the US. I don't know, to the US or Europe. I don't. Yash, what is the interview like? First of all, uh, what what is the interview like at ESSEC? What have you been through? And you on mute, Yash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
the
what is
interview
the
was
interview
more
like?
like a
Because people have a lot of
conversation.
questions about this. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the interview was more like a conversation. It was a motivation-based interview. So all they needed to know was my motivation behind applying to ESSEC and pursuing a master's in management, and my career goals after that. So that's all they talked about, and they wanted to get to know me better. So they asked questions about some of my personal experiences, be it in academic or personal life. So they wanted to know what kind of a leader I was, or how I handled situations, and my take on social work. So it was a very friendly conversation, and uh, yeah, it was nice.
Okay. So basically, it was like this. So it's a nice. So basically, don't be scared and don't freak out if you have an interview with the SEC. They want to give you a good image.
Yeah.
So there will be nothing embarrassing. It's more like a conversational style. There is no embarrassment. And the application. What is the application? The rest of the application process like the
So
application itself.
after getting everything prepared for like my GMAT, getting done with my GMAT, I started working on the application. And
Mm.
first, I took out the essay questions and started working on it with the help of MBA Center, the coaches from MBA Center. Uh, a few of my friends also helped me through the process, and uh, the letter of recommendations was also a very important part of the application process. Uh,
Mm.
I think it had a lot of impact on my application, and that was all about the admissibility results.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, the application process to INSEAD is the same as the others. And you have to complete essays. Basically, unlike HEC, you have also a cover letter to send, cover motivation letter to send, transcript, GMAT, TOEFL, and also so letters of recommendation. Okay.
Yeah.
How long did you take overall to complete your application, Yash?
So it took me around the essays took me around 1 week, or max to max 2 weeks. And apart from that, the letter of recommendation was also done in that process. So maximum it took me around 3 weeks.
Hey, it's very fast. It's very fast. Huh?
Yeah, that was fast because I it was my fault. I started late.
Okay, but you
Yeah.
went very fast.
Yeah.
Alors,
Otherwise, the whole process took me around a few months, where if I include the GMAT also. So the GMAT preparation took the core GMAT preparation took me around 2 months, and after that, uh, shortlisting of colleges, and then working on the essays, getting to know about the program. So to prepare the application, you had to have a thorough knowledge of the program that you're applying to. So that includes all the for example, the ESSEC program, it's very unique. It lets you be the entrepreneur of your curriculum. So I had to know everything about it, like where I could use the flexibility of the degree, and what options are available for me during the curriculum and after it. So I had to research a lot on each of the programs that I was applying to. Yeah.
yes, so basically, alors, Ariane, how long do you advise once you have the GMAT, how long are going to is necessary because you have more
I think
experience?
once you have the GMAT, I think 6 to 7 months is a good time to spend on your applications.
Hmm.
Because when it comes to applying, you don't just apply to one school or a couple of schools, right? There are
Yeah.
about 8 to 10 schools you apply for, and there are different programs as well. So essays can be demanding. Sometimes, a common mistake in Yash's case, he applied to only two colleges and he got into one. So let's
Yeah.
not consider his case here. Hypothetically, let's consider a person, right? So the mistake that people generally do is, and some people at some of the students at MBA Center also do this mistake. They use the same essays for every other college, and that is why they end up getting rejected. So why I'm asking you all to sort of spend 6 7 months on the essays is because every program is unique, every program is different, every program every program has different different core is generally the same. Electives can be different. The program structure can be very different. So it is very important. Student clubs and associations are very different. Like, say for example, ESSEC offers you the option to sort of go for the apprenticeship program, right? Whereas some of the other programs do not offer this flexibility, right? So 6 7 months ideally is a good time to sort of work on the applications. And yeah, I mean, then you can just apply. And when it comes to the GMAT, probably 3 to 4 months is a good enough time.
Yeah.
And for the summer school, I think 1.5 months is good enough. So everything together,
Yeah.
like let's say
Tell
12.
me that someone joining us, we take the GMAT, let's say probably late June, okay? Late July, you'll still have August, September if you go fast, early October to take care of the rest of the application. And then you prepare the interview and you get an answer by before Christmas. Which shows it's a very long process. Alors, basically, so Yash, I did not ask you, but can you please introduce yourself? Because we started with your recent success and we do not introduce yourself. We then will ask people attending the seminar to ask first questions. Okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Can you go? So Yash, can you introduce yourself?
Okay, so hello, I'm Yash Essec. I'm currently enrolled in St. Xavier's College, Kolkata, pursuing a bachelor's in management studies with a specialization in finance. I have done an internship in Tata Steel, and I was the growth and strategy consultant at GMAT Buddy. That's a startup that my friend founded. I also have done a summer school at IE Business School. That is one of the best schools in one of the best business schools in Europe, where I did a diploma in international finance. Apart from that, I consider myself a very friendly person, and I love to play guitar and sing for my friends. So that's all about my academic and my personal interests.
Okay, that's your personal interest. Basically, that's the question that I have for you. So does anybody has a question? Alors, let's start
Actually,
from
I think one of my friends did ask a question earlier.
Okay, but there's Mervin. I don't know with Mervin Louis. So Mervin, you have a question for us, Mervin?
Mm,
There
Hello,
is a
Mervin?
there is a question from Paritosh.
yeah, I
Okay.
think Paritosh left the meeting.
But so what is his question? So yes, but let's answer the question. And so I have a question for Yash. How important is the role? Okay. Alors, the summer school. Alors,
Yeah.
tell me, how do you see how important do you think it is?
Hello.
Yeah, the summer
Yeah.
school. Yeah.
Yeah, so the summer school did play an important role, but it was not the only factor that contributed. So, when I had all the one-on-ones with different schools, they all told me that it's not compulsory to get a summer school to do a summer school, but it will good look on your profile. As earlier before the summer school, I did not have any kind of international exposure, so summer school helps you get an idea of what studying in an abroad environment, as an international student feels like, and that helped me, make my thoughts clear and define my goal. So after doing the summer school, I was absolutely sure that I had to pursue a master's in management in in an international environment. So yeah, that helped me make my decision, and it also played a role in the admission process, but it was not the most important part.
Okay. It was not the most important part.
Yeah,
Uh,
it was more important for me personally because it helped me, you know uh, clear my thoughts and make a proper decision on whether to study or not abroad.
you agree? Huh?
Yeah.
Uh, so Mervin, you have a question for us, Mervin?
Mm.
Mervin? No, Mervin doesn't want to talk. So there's Ayushman, so he's our student. So basically, three pieces of advice that you could give to applicants, to people who are in your situation last year, what would you tell them?
I would say it's firstly, I would say it's never too early to start preparing for this. I
Hmm?
started it 2 years ago, and I still got into ESSEC Business School on the second round of applications. So
Hmm?
I would say to start preparing for this as soon as possible, and concentrate on your overall profile instead of just concentrating on one part of the profile, be it the GMAT or the international exposure or your GPA.
Okay, so that's the thing. Okay, of
Yeah.
course, make a thorough analysis. So Ariane, Surya, Yash, thank you very much. If you can have send me a picture.
Yeah,
If you have
sure.
other student accepted,
Tonight we'll send you a picture of
yeah.
all of
But
us.
you know, non-deep thing, why not? But at the same time, he did not attend the meeting, so okay, he doesn't seem to be too interested. So why involve him?
No, no, I spoke to him. I spoke to him. He's caught up with his classes.
Yeah, but you can see it takes 30 minutes. He doesn't have a student accepted to ESSEC every day. Me too, I have class. Okay, me too, I have class. Friday at 8 o'clock, I have class. It takes 30 minutes for my students. So it was very
It's
nice to see
it's
you.
hell.
So of course,
It's
for me, I remember that when I came to Jamshedpur in late September, I never imagined that one day, after 6 months, I knew that you will succeed, but I didn't know that so fast, with such schools, you all got your dream school, which is impressive. It also shows that masters for Indians are possible. Okay, MBAs are very difficult, but masters are possible. Okay, of course, you're a good student, but you see, once you apply for MBA, is going to see it's a different story. Huh? And I'm also happy to see that you're on the right track and that I will see you next year more often. Because of course, I live in your. So thank you very much, Surya. I hope that your health is better. Yash as well, and you also, Ariane. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Cheers. Bye bye.